Markets around the world reacting to Britain's vote to leave the European Union. The stock market is the most immediate effect of the so-called Brexit.
However, many world leaders are concerned with what happens next. Britons voted by a slim majority last night to leave the EU. Today, British Prime Minister David Cameron, who wanted to stay in the Union, stepped down. President Obama is also against Brexit, but says the United States will respect the outcome of the referendum.
The UK's relationship with the EU will change. One thing that will not change is the special relationship that exists between our two nations.
Now, the United Kingdom is the first major country to ever leave the European Union.
Not all politicians are worried. Utah Senator Mike Lee wrote, "The decision by the British people to leave the EU is a rejection of centralized power and unaccountable bureaucracy, a sentiment widely shared by many Americans." The UK is Utah's biggest international trading partner. That's according to Derek Miller, the director of the Utah World Trade Center.
So what happens in Britain does impact Utah. The question is, what will the impact be? Fox 13's Max Roth joins us in studio with a look. Max.
Yeah, Hope and Matt, in a moment I'll show you exactly why the UK is such a big partner with Utah. But first, we talked with two people who have to think about Utah and the global economy every day.
Executive VP Jason Fowler says Air & Sea International is basically
a travel agent for freight.
That clickety-clack is the sound of globalization. Skilled agents in Utah directing traffic, getting products across borders.
A lot of Utahns don't know how much is exported from this state.
They occasionally book freight to and from the United Kingdom, but they have bigger concerns in the European Union.
The first thing I think about is whether Germany, which is the linchpin of the EU, is going to follow suit.
Is there any reason for the rest of us to think that this impacts us, or why should we worry about this?
Well, if you're going to take a trip to the UK, you may want to take that trip right now. It's 10% cheaper today than it was yesterday.
Josh Green is the head trader for GPS Capital Markets. It's his job to know what's happening with the dollar and pound and euro. And for the short term, a weak pound can help Americans. But long term, business hates uncertainty.
Normally, leading up to something like this, you know what position to take.
Yeah.
But there was so much uncertainty out there that nobody knew. So that's why it was such a big, dramatic swing.
The question for Utahns Jason Fowler and Josh Green, and for businesses worldwide, is whether the ground just shifted once and things will settle, or whether the Brexit is the precursor to more quakes.
We just want to see some consistency through Europe.
So I mentioned at the beginning of this we would show you why the UK is such a big partner with Utah. Here's the list I put together of some major British companies in different industries. Many people watching have British toothpaste or British medicine at their house. London may be the world's biggest banking city, but the big one is right there at the top under oil and mining. You see that? Rio Tinto. That's a British company. So that big coal mine, which actually makes more money by mining gold and all the products that they make and the land they own in Utah, make them a very important cog in Utah's economic wheel, and England, Utah's biggest trading partner. Live in studio, I'm Max Roth.
Well, they're calling it a seismic shift in international politics and economics. Britain voting to leave the European Union. Here's the vote. It was close. 48.1% wanting to stay, 51.9% saying they want to leave. And believe it or not, the United Kingdom is the biggest international trading partner with Utah. Now, that is largely because of that first company you see there under our list of oil and mining companies, Rio Tinto. They own the Kennecott mine and all those properties. That's a British company. But you can see Britain's leading companies have products in most American households, from Aquafresh toothpaste to Nexium heartburn medicine. And London is one of the top 2 or 3 banking cities in the world, with Hong Kong and New York. And we are lucky enough to be joined by Josh Green. Josh is the head trader of GPS Capital Markets. Josh, that means that you work with money, right?
Yes.
You work with currencies and look at how that impacts your clients. You have small businesses to large businesses that work with you. So you woke up this morning and you saw this news. What did you think?
Well, you said that I woke up this morning. I actually didn't go to sleep last night.
Really? So this was a big enough deal to you. You were watching.
The polls closed at 3 o'clock yesterday.
Yeah.
And we didn't get the results until 10 o'clock our time last night. And that's when the BBC reported that the Brexit was going to happen. And, you know, there's been some market volatility that we've seen. I've been in this industry for 10 years.
Yeah.
And I've seen some swings, but I don't know if we've ever seen a result that has been so close, where the votes have been so narrow, where there was a lot of uncertainty. Normally, leading up to something like this, you know what position to take.
Yeah.
But there was so much uncertainty out there that nobody knew. So that's why it was such a big, dramatic swing.
I know businesses hate uncertainty, but I wonder, you know, if I am, you know, I don't work in import-export, you know, and for so many people out there, they don't directly work with that either. So is there any reason for the rest of us to think that this impacts us, or why should we worry about this?
Well, if you're going to take a trip to the UK, you may want to take that trip right now. It's 10% cheaper today than it was yesterday.
The pound is worth a lot less right now, so the dollar buys a lot.
Correct. Your purchasing power with your U.S. dollars is a lot more. You know, how it impacts, you know, you or somebody you may know, again, it all comes back to importer or exporter.
Yeah.
If you're an importer, then it's 10% cheaper. Exporter, if you're sitting on a lot of cash over there, it's going to be a little bit harder to bring that back. My wife runs a small business out of our house where she sells baby wrap carriers that are waterproof, and she's buying those raw goods here locally, considering whether she should go overseas to buy those raw goods. Well, it's a lot cheaper now, and so that would maybe influence her decision for a very small business to go overseas to maybe buy product overseas.
And what is your experience? I mean, do a lot of your clients have significant dealings with the UK and with the pound instead? So are there? Do you know of Utah businesses that work with the pound a lot?
Oh yeah, there's a ton. The pound is considered a major currency. It's traded around the clock all over the world, especially in particular with our clients. And we've got, our clients, we've been warning them of, the volatility that can exist in the FX market, typically on a major currency like the pound.
And
not
FX
as
meaning
much.
foreign exchange currency.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Foreign exchange. Typically, there's not a lot of movement. It's a movement like this would take, a year or a couple years to move 10%. But we warn our clients that there could be movement out there.
Yeah.
And so you need to brace yourself for it. So our clients, yes, did it, catch people off guard? Yes, but our clients, they prepared for it.
Okay.
And we help them to do that.
What I'm hearing from you is businesses are worried, but for the average person, you kind of have to wait and see how it plays out. Maybe if you're thinking about travel, the UK it's a good time to go there.
Exactly.
Yeah. Josh Green, head trader for GPS Capital Markets. Thanks for coming in.
Man.
Good to have you here.